You just told me to.
So welcome back to the vlog. I am sat out here on a bench just outside the post office because something very exciting has just arrived from America. So a little company called PS Bagworks based in Jersey, America. They've sent me one of their premium bike camera straps, which, as you can see, in a dark navy blue colour, matches my kit perfectly. My most commonly asked question on this channel from you guys is, which camera strap are you using? And so now I can finally tell you, because the one that I've been using for the last couple of years was a Kickstarter that failed, I believe, and then they never got brought to production. But this one is. This is one of the really good ones that has the support both ways, so it doesn't let the camera swing from side to side, but more on that later.
My arms?
What are we doing today?
Going bike ridings.
Bike riding.
Bike riding.
And then?
Watching the tour?
Q&A.
Q&A. Then watching the tour. Watching the tour whilst we Q&A.
Let's go. Bit busy today, isn't it?
Well busy. Saturday, innit?
That's Saturday. Let's everyone get in the car and go somewhere.
On a beautiful day. It's probably like the warmest couple of days now until next summer, and everyone's sat in the bloody cars.
So we're out on the bikes this morning, just a couple of hours, local loop. Seems the whole world has come out to sit in their cars on what is a lovely summer's British day.
They can come on land, can't they?
What, swans?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like a duck.
They're not fish.
Yeah, but ducks don't come out much. Oh no, don't put that in. Good.
It's alright, it's not going to bite you.
I thought swans are aggressive.
Only if you kick it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Right, we promised the viewers a Q&A. Should we go get it done?
Yeah, let's go to the studio.
The what?
Oh, basement. But the upstairs basement.
If it is upstairs, it might still be downstairs.
Yeah. You've got, at the moment, you've kind of got two. Alpha, Hugh Carthy.
Alright.
Hello.
Just watching some of the tour, are we?
Yes. And I have a mask on because it's dusty in here.
And COVID.
COVID, yeah, sorry.
So unfortunately for us, we arrived here at about mid-morning. They had already knocked through the wall downstairs first thing, making the basement into Fit Studio number 2. So I'll go and show you what that looks like later on in this video. But yeah, this is currently the basement, or what has become of the basement, the office, upstairs. As you can see, it's got stuff everywhere because it's just been moved from downstairs. What do you think of basement 2.0?
It's alright.
I mean, it's obviously not finished yet.
No, when everything's in place, it'll be great. It's literally just been built.
We're unsure of how the layout exactly will take place in this room, where the benches, where the desk will go, where the sofa will go, if we have a sofa, if there is room for it. But yeah, very, very early beginnings. Francis is missing out on all this because he's up north, but I'm sure he'll be down in the next week or so to come and see how we're getting on with this. Most importantly, our Red Bull stash. There. So yeah, excuse the mess all around us as we settle in and make the basement into what we want it to be. But yeah, on the last video I told you guys that we would do a Q&A.
Yes.
And we're not one to disappoint, so we are going to get all your questions up on the iPad here, switch over from the Tour de France because still a few hours to go, and let's answer as many as we can. What are you laughing for? It's really dusty in here, so Sav is struggling a little bit. So the first question is left by Greg James, and he's asked, do you have a team lined up for next year? You can answer that first.
Yes.
Yes. Who? Can you say who? No.
No, not
Top
really.
secret. Stay tuned.
But don't get excited.
I do plan to race next year, but I haven't thought about a team. I probably will fly my own flag as I have done this year, except I haven't raced once this year because of COVID. Palmer has written, you can't call your production team the basement anymore, it has to be the backroom boys. I would have to agree, it is kind of more like a backroom than a basement. But we've made the name now, we can't just scrap it and start again.
Just stick with it.
I'm sticking with it. So, question from Milan B. Are you Sav's PR manager or is she yours?
I'm his. He can't do anything on his own.
Damn, you heard it here first. Dre asked a really good question. I like this one. So, hi Lawrence, what was your first bike and what tips would you give to beginner cyclists? So, Dre, my first bicycle was a long time ago when I was about 8 years old. I had a Peugeot. Don't ask me what model it was. I have no idea, but it was a steel bike with thick tyres. Dropped handlebars, but that was my first ever bike. I didn't have it for long, but that got me into the sport and made me fall in love with cycling. So, yeah, that was my first bike. What was yours?
I think I had a Claude Butler off eBay.
Oh, wow.
With it was awful.
Hello.
Hello.
We're in the basement, upstairs basement.
Yes.
It's cool, isn't it?
Welcome.
Yes. It's got a little bit more work to do, but
This is the cleanest room in the entire shop. It's the only room that isn't a fucking dust bowl.
oh no, this is a shame.
I'm just so over it.
Especially when you have dust allergies.
Do you have that? well executed.
There we go.
Used to be your.
Oh, it's fixed.
Yes, it is fixed.
Oh wow. Okay. What? James, it's
I had a real nightmare this morning trying to figure out where the hell we're going to put everything. It's quite a bit smaller.
Small
than the other room.
Yes.
I think it's quite a bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller, but it's still big enough.
Yes.
Which is cool. So,
Wow.
Second Bifix studio.
Incredible.
It's all happening.
All go.
And by the time I come back from holiday, these guys would have left, and there won't be dust everywhere.
You'll have a shop that
Yay.
is box fresh and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Oh, you've got a new jig.
Got another jig coming.
Amazing.
I've got a new bike coming.
Oh wow.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all going.
Incredible.
It's all happening.
Very exciting. Lunchtime. Right, sorry. What tips would you give to beginner cyclists? For me, definitely, if you're new to cycling, it's riding in a group, or in fact finding a couple of friends that rides bikes that you can ride with.
You're drilling to my
Excuse the background noise. The builders are sanding the walls with electrical tools.
And I want to get back for the finish of the tour, so...
Yes. Paul Funky writes, which bicycle computer do you use? Paul, you must have not been watching the content I've been making here on this channel, because every single video that I did when I rode to Edinburgh, I mentioned what bicycle computer I was using because they sponsored that video. It is the Trim one. Check it out. Glenn O'Rourke asks, will you go on a bike trip with Lawrence?
Well, we are, aren't we?
So Glenn, you've jumped the gun a little bit there because we have already booked one. We are going to Italy on a little trip, which you'll find out a lot more about in a future video, so stay tuned. I cannot wait until the builders have finished here because it makes filming very difficult. Dave Carroll asks, hi Lawrence, Sav, what are your plans for next year? Do you plan to return to racing?
Luckily for me, it doesn't really matter what BC say, as I don't really race here, so except for like national champs and stuff. So for me, racing has actually restarted in Belgium. A couple of like training races and a couple of UCI races, but for next year, I think Belgium will be perfect still.
The last question is best anti-bonk food. Edit, you can't say pastries. Well, that would have been my answer, so that is a shame. But you can't go wrong with a banana, can you? Like, fits in your pocket, you know, 20 grams of carbs. They go a bit black and blue if you sit on it like I do.
High potassium.
High potassium. What about you?
Haribo. Sweets.
Slightly less healthy.
Loads of sweets.
Still get you round.
Definitely. If you're bonking, the last thing you want to shove down is a banana. That sounds a bit inappropriate.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. Hope we answered some of your questions. As I said earlier in the video, stay tuned for a few of the next ones coming up in the next couple of weeks, because as I said, we've got this trip, this bikepacking trip to Italy planned, and we've got a lot of content around that coming up, so that's really exciting. But as usual guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.